I think I don't know if anyone's here. Oh, well, we had one person, but they've gone. This is great. Yeah. He's like, I'm the only person here. This is definitely weird. Hold on, let's have a look. Hold on. What's he saying? Orientation is locked. Is the camera upside down? What's up, everybody? Hold on. Is it upside down again? Oh my God. Bloody thing. There's tons of people on. How we doing, everyone? What's going on? Just having a little technical difficulty there, as you can see. So my apologies there for being a few minutes late. But wow, lots of questions coming through. Maybe I'll turn. No, you can't do that. When you're live, apparently you can't move it around. The man himself. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, it's very late. My wife was like, why have you set it live for 9 p.m? And I'm like, I don't know. I just started using this YouTube page recently, and then a buddy of mine said, oh yeah, a good way to interact is to go live. I said, yeah, sure, let's do a live. But it's 5 o'clock in the morning in England, midnight in New York on the East Coast, and God knows what else. But in Australia, I guess you guys are up, so there you go. Thank you very much. Lots of comments coming through right now. Lots of very, very kind, nice comments. I guess we'll try and... What do I think of the new season of Tough? Well, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to check it out. I'm sure Ortega and Volkanovski are doing a great job. That's going to be a great fight. But yeah, unfortunately, I've had a chance. Good day from Australia, Mike. Death Dingo. What's going on, Death Dingo? Tales from the Octagon in Las Vegas. Yeah, hopefully. Tales from the Octagon, by the way. Hold on, let's prop this up there. There we go. Propped up. There we go, like a real podcaster. So, Tales from the Octagon, sales going really, really well. In fact, Dublin is 100% sold out. So thank you to everyone that bought a ticket. It's mind-blowing. It really is. If you haven't got one, go to myticket.co.uk. Hi, Mike. I'm 27 from Orange. I always wondered, hold on, I'm trying to get you. Always wondered, how did you and Lewis link up? Your dynamic is great. And that is from T-Ball Paul. Thank you very much, T-Ball Paul, for the kind words. Yeah, so he's referring to my podcast with Luis J. Gomez. I started doing a radio show for Sirius XM, and, you know, I wasn't a skilled broadcaster. Not like I am now. I mean, come on. But, yeah, they teamed me up with Gomez. That was that. And then Sirius XM are very, very cheap. They paid hardly any money, so we said, fuck this. Let's do a YouTube. Let's do a podcast. The rest is history. Lewis wishes he could carry Bisping's balls. Well, that's not nice. What else we got? How's everyone doing, by the way? So, see you soon, boy. Okay, all right. The British Cyclops. Well, that's not nice, is it? I clearly said on the thing, keep it respectful. That is not respectful. What else we got here? Huge fan, Michael. How's your dad? George St. Pierre doing? Ooh, little dig. I lost my belt to the greatest of all time. So ashamed. So embarrassed. Weight class question. Go ahead. Spliff DeLong King. Spiff DeLong King? Whatever. If you've got a question, go at me. Ask me, where are you going to make a buddy cop movie with Bobby Lee? Bobby Lee is absolutely hilarious. I would love to do that, but I'm not sure he feels the same way about me. I'm not sure if he wants to team up with some random MMA fighter. Hey, baby boy from India. Much love. That is Volcano 9. What's going on? India. Never been there. Want to go? Give me a reason to go. Bisping keeps it real. Onwards 208. Yep, I do. Love your podcast and the analyst work from Joel Miller. Well, thank you very, very much. Let me see what's going on in my life right now. What have I got to talk about? Not a lot. I thought you guys would be asking questions. I'm not really a live type of guy. Someone keeps messaging me. I'm not really the guy that does many lives, so I don't know what you do. So I'm assuming you guys just ask me questions and I answer them. But everyone's just saying hi, and I appreciate it. Like Pascal Perrier from Canada. What's up, Pascal? Hope you're well. Show your room, please. Okay, well, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess right now, but let's have a look. Let's put a light on. Hold on. Boom. A little bit more light. Got some of my records here, because I used to be a DJ, didn't I? Used to DJ Mikey B back in the day. And there we got the turntables. Yeah, anyway, there you go. You don't want to know about that stuff. It's embarrassing, a man of 42. Hello from Nicaragua, from Colt Robbins. What's up, Nicaragua in the house? What are the chances of seeing you? There's a lot of questions coming in. A lot of questions. Listen, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm having a beer. I don't care. Okay, sue me. Tell me off. Whatever you want to do. What do you guys want to hear? Ask me a question. I'll tell you a story. Hey, Bisping, I've been training MMA for 1.5 years now and hope to be in the UFC eventually. What would be the best tip you could give about becoming a great UFC fighter? I mean, come on, that is a long-ass question. Jeez Louise, train, get a good coach, get a good manager. Don't sign a shitty contract with a very, very crooked fucking bent manager, because God knows there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of good ones, like Audiatar from Paradigm Sports Management, but my God, I have dealt with some pricks in my time. Bisping, are you really having a comeback fight? No, I am not having a comeback fight. Hold on, let me see if I can put this in here. Hold on, guys, hold on. I got this weird device. There we go. Hold on, this way. Boom, yes! See, I don't have to hold you now, you don't have to make you dizzy. That's better. That is better. Okay. Sorry, my bad. We had a one-eyed champ, but will there ever be a no-eyed champ? Find that very hard to believe. Silva rematch. Well, Silva's boxing now. I'm retired. People always ask me, I'm always working out in the garage and whatnot, trying to not be a fat bastard. Losing that battle though, mind you. But every time I work out, everyone's like, oh, you're making a comeback. No, you're not. Bisping, you're a knob, but you're a likable bloke after retirement. Love your commentary and insight. Not sure quite what to make of that comment. Thank you very much. You're a knob. Okay, thanks. What else we got? Do you think there will be a Welsh UFC champion? Maybe one day, a couple of good fighters coming out of there. Hey, Bisping, DN1, would you fight Jake Paul for us? I was offered a contract to fight Jake Paul, believe it or not. And I think this came out in the media a while ago. I was offered a contract to fight Jake Paul, but I think he just used me, to be honest. I think he just used me for the clout, because I went out there and I mentioned it on my podcast. And that makes him look like he's trying to take on real fighters. But I never entertained it. I went back and doubled the money, though, just to see what they'd say. I said, yeah. I think he offered $500,000. I said, give me $1 million and I'll consider it. And we never heard anything back. So there you go. Bisping, you're the GOAT. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I'm not sure about that myself, but I do appreciate the nice comment, of course. I used to think you were a prick, but now I like you. That's from Brian Blaze. To be fair, I do get that a lot. And I did used to be a prick. Maybe a brick as well. Got a fucking head like a brick. I did used to be a prick. I did. I was young. I was cocky. I was a little bit misunderstood as well. I definitely think I was a little bit misunderstood. But when I was on The Ultimate Fighter and stuff, people didn't like me because I was cocky, because I thought, I could beat everyone. And I did beat everyone. But I was there to win. And yeah, listen, I definitely said things I regretted over the years. Definitely, when I look back and see certain things that I said, I think, shit, did I really say that? I definitely do cringe a bit, but you get older, you get wiser. And I was with some people that maybe weren't the best influence on me, but that's not an excuse. I said what I said. I acted the way that I did. And yeah, I definitely matured over the years. But I do think when I started working on the broadcast side of things for the UFC, I do think that people started coming around to me there. Because generally, I like to think I'm not a bad person. I'm always trying to have a laugh and being a little bit silly. And I think sometimes my sarcastic sense of humor wasn't coming across there. But when I started working on TV, I think more people started realizing that, hold on, he's just having a laugh, this guy. But who knows? Maybe I was a prick all along. Probably am. My wife says that. All right, question for the analyst Bisping. Prime Anderson Silva versus Prime GSP. How would that fight have gone down? Who knows? I mean, obviously, as an egomaniac, I've got to say GSP would have destroyed him. But I don't know if he would. I think probably Anderson Silva would have beat him in his prime, if I'm honest. And I would have beat GSP. I had one eye when I fought GSP, and that's the fact. And George knew about it. He said afterwards, I mean, listen, I love George. I'm not talking shit about George, but I definitely had one eye. That's a fact. And I don't know if you know this, but fighting with one eye, it's pretty hard. makes it kind of difficult. Depth perception and all that stuff. You can't see punches coming. And then afterwards, George even said on the microphone at UFC 217, he said, we knew we couldn't see out of this side too well, so we target this side. So yeah, and funnily enough, I was training with George St. Pierre's coach in Toronto right before I fought Luke Rockhold. I was up there for a few months, so I worked out with George's coach. I didn't know I'd be fighting George down the line, so he knew that I couldn't see out of that side. So everything happens for a reason, maybe. What else we got here? Hey, Bisping, can you give your good boxing combo to try in sparring? That's a boring question. That is a very boring question. No disrespect, mate. 1-2 left hook. There you go. Classic. Use the jab. Jab doesn't get used enough. Let's have a look what else we got here. With hindsight, do you think your division has got tougher since your retirement as compared to the lineup through your UFC career? Obviously, again, I'm biased, but I do believe, well, there's some great talent at middleweight. There was some great talent when I was there as well. Obviously, Adesanya is an incredible champion. I really enjoy watching him fight. I love his style. I love what he brings to the table. Robert Whittaker is incredible. Who else? We've got Marvin Vettori. He's on a roll. He just got beat up for Adesanya, but he's still really good. Paulo Costa. Obviously, Romero's gone. Yeah, man. It was tough when I was there, though. In my day, what was it? Whittaker, Rockhold, me, Jack Ray. The list goes on. The list goes on. Anderson Silva, of course. Who in the middleweight division would you like to fight if you were still fighting? If I was still fighting, I'd want to fight Adesanya. Of course I would. Of course I would. Probably beat him. But of course I'm bound to say that because I'm a fighter. That's what fighters say. Sometimes people get offended when fighters say that. Fighters are supposed to say that they're going to win. If a fighter says they're going to lose or isn't confident in a fight, then you're probably going to find a different job. Because that's what we do. We're supposed to have supreme confidence. Certainly when you're undefeated as well. When you're undefeated, oh my God, the confidence is through the roof. What else we got? I'm coming after you, Conor McGregor. All right, pal. Keep that titanium shin bone to yourself, Conor. Can't do a Conor McGregor accent, that's a fact. What's your take on Dan Hardy getting fired from the UFC? Well, none of my business. I'm staying out of that one. Hey, bro, do you think boxing is a good martial art for MMA? Well, of course. Boxing is one of the key elements of MMA. Boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, some other shit thrown in between here and there. But they're the main ones. There's some other stuff that works, certain elements of different martial arts. But they're your main ones. So boxing, definitely. Boxing is a big one. You got to have good boxing because the thing is with Thai boxing, for example, or even kickboxing to a certain degree, the footwork in kickboxing and Thai boxing, it doesn't really exist. Whereas boxing, the footwork in boxing is beautiful. There's so many footwork drills you can do. I was telling Darren Till, I think that's one thing he should add to his game, some more boxing footwork, but still. There you go. Who am I to say that type of stuff? Let's have a good one. Trade me. Sorry, too busy. What's your current opinion on fighter pay situation? This is all right. That's a good question. And a lot of people are going to say I'm a UFC shill for saying this. Now, I'm all for fighters getting more money. Of course I am. But the thing is, the cream rises to the top. And if you're good enough in this sport, you will make money. And I do believe, and I am accurate when I say this, the low level guys, when you first sign with the UFC, when you're an entry level fighter, I'm not sure what it is, but I think it might be 15 and 15 or 10 and 10 or I think it's 15 and 15, then you get some extra money as well. So that's 30 grand. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think I might be right. So that's 30 grand, right? And if you fight 3 times a year, that's 90 grand plus some sponsors and whatnot. But if you do well, you'll get a new contract and you work your way up. And that's how it goes. That's the name of the game. And if you're good, you'll get to the top. And we look at Conor McGregor, the money he's earned. Granted, not many people are Conor McGregor. He's he's the only one. But there's, Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Cormier. There's plenty of people that made plenty of money. I did good. I mean, I earned money through the UFC that I never would have dreamed of in my wildest dreams. Do I want to see us get paid more? Yeah, sure, I do. I do believe we need more. But I also believe that the UFC takes care of us very, very well. You know, there you go. Slag me off. Call me a UFC shill if you want, but it's true. Look at me. I'm sitting here in a beautiful home, all paid for through the UFC. I was a knucklehead from Clitheroe, England. Clitheroe, Lancashire. You won't have heard of that. Left school at 16. No job. No prospects. No ambition. No nothing. Went off the tracks for a while. Got in a lot of trouble, went to prison, and managed to turn it all around because I had a love for combat sports. I had a love for fighting, definitely. And then the UFC was around, and that gave me a platform to put my skills to use. You know, so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. Simple as that. What else we got? Darren Till will smash you. Get Darren Till over here right now. Get him over here. Darren is shit scared of me. That's a fact. That is a fact. Darren wouldn't say boo to me, man. Darren would not say nothing to me. I love you, Mike. Love you, Mike. Love you, Mike. All right, well, I love you too, Mr. Fear. Thank you very much. Question. Would you do a podcast ESPN show with Dominic Cruz? Banter is quality. Dominic's a little shit, but I love him. Dominic's awesome, he is, but my God, he fucking... The mouth on him, and that's coming from me. That is coming from me. No, Dominic's awesome. We have a good crack. We have a good bit of banter. Sometimes I want to strangle him, and I'm sure sometimes he wants to strangle me. But it makes for good TV. People seem to enjoy it. What technique would you use in a street fight if you lost your sight in the other eye? Well, if I lost my sight in the other eye, then I wouldn't have a clue what was going on, would I? Do you know what I mean? This one here is the fake one. As you can see, that's the fake eye there. Hold on. I won't take it out and freak everyone out, but that's the fake one. That's the good one. If that one got lost, or done in, or stabbed in the eye, then I'll probably just roll over and say, all right, finish me off. Bispin, shout out from Denmark. You're a beast. What's up, Denmark in the house? How you doing, buddy? Not doing bad here. A lot of people on. More people than what I expected. 1,070, I think, something like that. My eyes are so bad. I have astigmatism, so obviously I only have one eye. But my contact lens moves around all the time because of my astigmatism. So it moves and then I can't see. So I've always got to stick my finger in my eye and correct it. When you have two eyes, your contact lenses move all the time, but you don't notice it because the other eye takes over. But when you've got one eye, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So that's why I'm always sticking my finger in my eye. Anyway, do you ever think about competing in grappling competitions? That comes from Zach Retzer. Yeah, I do. I would love to. Obviously, I had 2 knee replacements. So right now, putting weight on my knees on a mat just feels weird. There's no sensation there. And it's not painful, but it's an incredibly uncomfortable feeling. So doing doing a grappling competition right now, probably not. But I do want to work towards getting my black belt. I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've done martial arts my entire life, and I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu, so it seems stupid and foolish not to go after that black belt. As I said, I'm a brown belt, so I'm one away. So I want to dedicate some time to a gi, and then yeah, I would love, excuse me, to do some competitions, but one step at a time. Question: Usman or Covington? I mean, listen, how can you go against Kamaru Usman? Usman is becoming, well, he is one of the best in the world. Love a bit of Sapporo, by the way. He is one of the best in the world, and he's becoming pound for pound one of the best. I mean, he's the champ. What I mean, he's becoming pound for pound one of the best, if not the best. Knocked out Covington first time, knocked out Masvidal, stopped Gilbert Burns. You know, so in this rematch against Covington, Covington's only had one fight. Yeah, he looks good against Woodley, but still, Usman, especially now that he teamed up with Trevor Whitman, he's just getting better and better. So I don't think that fight's going to go any different. I think Usman now is probably going to knock him out again. There you go. There's my early prediction. Put your money on it. You heard it from me first. How did you continue after the late knee against Anderson Silva and go on like a true legend? Well, thank you. My eyes are bad. Lenners are... Whatever. You know who you are because you asked the question. I have no idea, to be quite frank. Silva hit me with that knee. A little story, because people probably don't know. When I fought Anderson Silva, big fight for me, I was very proud of that performance. But what happened was in the 3rd round, my mouthpiece came out. And contrary to popular belief, not all Englishmen have bad teeth. Look at those bad boys. My teeth are good. They're fake, mind you, though. So, I didn't even have these when I fought Anderson Silva, so I'm full of shit. But, yeah, my mouthpiece came out. He's on the floor. Gum shield, I should say, for the English. And... as I say, this side doesn't see. It's blind, right? So my mouthpiece came out, and Herb Dean, love Herb Dean, great referee, but he never stepped in. And I know you're going to wait for a break in the action, but we weren't exchanging. And I'm like, what the fuck, my mouthpiece? So I turned and I look and I point at the floor. I'm like, ref, my mouthpiece is on the floor. Now, when I turn, as I say, this is my fake eye. So when I turn that way, I can't see the phone right now. I can't see, when I'm there, I can't see the phone at all. So I couldn't see Anderson Silva. So when I turned here and went, ref, my mouthpiece, and then I turned back, and Anderson Silva's in midair, boom, hits me with the knee. God bless him. Great shot. Great shot. How's Callum, the better Bisping, doing? Thank you. He is the better Bisping. Callum is the better Bisping, by far a better man than me. So he's doing good. He's out in England right now, trying out for the Commonwealth Games in wrestling. Hopefully after that, then he'll make it to the Olympics one day. Could you imagine that? I'd be so proud. So proud. Hold on, I'm just going to plug this in. You guys enjoying this, I think. Are you enjoying this? Are we having a good time? We've got 1,200 people watching. Pretty crazy. I know nothing about YouTube. My mate Anthony Evans is on here. He wrote my book, by the way, Quitters Never Win, and he was telling me today some things to do with the YouTube. I'm just getting into it. I'm 42 years old and I've just discovered YouTube. I mean, what the fuck? But still, Ant, thank you very much. It's his fault, or not his idea, that we did this live. So thank you very much. Michael Bisping. How can you fighters have a drink together after you fought each other? I don't understand. Well, listen, generally, unless you're threatening to kill people's wives or children, after the fight, it's done. It's over. Now, granted, there is some situations where you don't like the guy. And then after that, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, some people you just won't, you know. But generally, when it's done, I go up and shake the hand. I give him a hug afterwards. Like George St. Pierre, he took my belt off me. He exposed my weakness. But and afterwards, we went backstage. We had a hug. You know, George is a great guy. And generally, that's how it is. You wish them the best. It's a sport. One man wins, one man loses. There's no shame in it. Two people are going to enter that octagon. One's going to win, one's going to lose. You know, and if the better man wins on the night, you shake the hand, you give him a hug. Yeah, you say, you motherfucker, you got me. You know what I mean? It stings, it hurts, but still, you got to take it like a man. You got to shake the guy's hand and say, congrats, all the best, and then go home and cry yourself to sleep. All right, what do you think about Gilbert Burns? Does he have what it takes to be champ? He does. I mean, come on, we saw it. You know, he went out there, he got a title shot, he looked fantastic. Had Kamaru in all kinds of trouble at the start, but, you know, Kamaru turned it around. Kamaru's fantastic. Kamaru's very, very good. And Gilbert made some mistakes. Gilbert made some mistakes. Anyway, there we go. What else we got? Can you say Callum Catherwood? Callum Catherwood is the new UFC champion. Callum Catherwood is the new UFC champion. But guys, this is not fucking cameo. This is alive. Ask me anything. I guess that is something. I did say ask me anything. Fair play. Take that back. Just edit that bit out, please, Brian. Let's have a look. Behold, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, even those who pierced him, and all tribes of the earth will wail on account of him. Even so, amen. All right, I'm assuming I just read out a prayer. Not religious. No offense to anyone. You mentioned that John Kavanagh should fire Conor. In your opinion, should Conor switch teams? Listen, I'm not for people ditching the people that made them successful. Okay, I like when I see fighters stay loyal to their coaches and their team throughout the entirety of their career. But also at the same time, you need to have real people around you. Now, I'm not close to that situation. I don't know. All I know is that after that fight, John Kavanagh said that I saw nothing wrong. There was nothing alarming. Everything was going good. I forget the exact quote, but he threw in gravy. Okay, everything was all gravy, and we were on track for a knockout in the second round. As I say, I'm not here to knock Conor, I'm not here to knock John Kavanagh, but the reality is that's fucking bullshit. That was a bullshit statement. Simple as that. I'm sorry. Now, maybe that was his public stance, right? Because he doesn't want to upset Conor. If that's the case, I kind of get it. But still, if you're going to go out there and say those words publicly, then I'm also going to fucking pull you on your bullshit. Simple as that, because it was bullshit. If you feel something differently in private, then fair play, but don't say that publicly. Just like I say things publicly, and I get a lot of shit. I have a lot of people talking crap. People pull me on it, all this. You know what I mean? So there you go. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay, we're going strong here, guys. 1,500 people on here. We've been going for half an hour. Not bad, not bad. I'm a little bit scared to put this up actually, as a post though, talking a bit too much. Will I come back? No, I'm done. I'm done. Look at this big scar here. I had neck surgery recently. I've got one eye, as you know. I've got issues with my good eye. I've got no knees whatsoever. I've got to have 2 more discs taken out of my neck. No, fighting again will not be happening. You never know. You never know. If I get fired from the UFC, ESPN, BT Sport, podcast goes to the shit. It looks like fucking YouTube's bouncing, baby, though. So maybe I just rely on the YouTube and become the next Jake Paul. But no, if it all goes tits up, you'll find me in some working men's club in Russia, fighting someone, with one eye, picking off easy competition in my old age. All right, what else we got? Hold on, let's have a look. Vitor Belfort taking Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Eyeball. I hope De La Hoya wipes the floor with him. Will it happen? I don't know. I do know De La Hoya on his training videos recently looked fast, man. He looked good. But the reality is, I think it's what? I don't know. It's a long time. It's a long time since De La Hoya fought, maybe 15 years, something like that. And as we know, De La Hoya, he's lived a hard life. The man loves to party. He likes to enjoy himself. But he'd fucking be great fun on a night out. Oscar, hit me up, buddy. But he's a smaller guy. Obviously, the more skilled boxer, I would say. But time is a real factor, And he's been out for a long, long time. Vitor's the bigger guy. Vitor's got good, fast hands as well. And more importantly, Vitor will probably be allowed to take steroids. That's what he does. He has a history in doing that. The man is a cheat. The man is a fraud, and he will cheat his way to a victory if he can. And if he is taking steroids, then just be careful, Oscar De La Hoya. Luke Rockhold or Israel Adesanya. People always think I'm going to talk shit about Luke. Luke's all right, and I'm sure if we met under different circumstances, me and Luke would get along just fine. He's good friends with DC. I always say that. I have tremendous respect for DC. DC's a great guy. And Luke Rockhold's one of his boys, one of his good friends. So he can't be a complete dickhead. We just met under circumstances where we're rivals. And obviously I had a big mouth. And we're not going to get along when you meet somebody under those circumstances. I think Luke is extremely talented. He really is. And I see him down at Ruka where I train. That's the brand right there. Where is it? There it is. I see him down at the gym and he's still got it. Fuck me. He's still, the things he can do athletically is unbelievable. So it would be disrespectful to the champ to say that Rocco could beat him. But I'm telling you, it'd be a very, very interesting fight. I'd like to see it. I would. I'd like to see him come back and get a shot at the belt. What a story that would be. What do you think about Kamza Chimayev versus Li Jingliang? I think it's good. I want to see Kamza fight again. Obviously, he was the man of 2020. So people were talking about. Then he got COVID and he kind of disappeared a little bit. He had a tremendous amount of hype behind him. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him back in there. Jingliang's a tough fight though. Jingliang's a real fighter, man. But it looks like Kamza's good as well. So yeah, good matchup. Like it. Hey Mike, have you ever going to have the rematch with Chael Sonnen? Funnily enough. I did. I had a rematch with Chael Sonnen. So I did this event called Your Show, yourshow.tv with these buddies of mine in Canada. It was a grappling event. But listen to this. They had Roy Jones Jr. in the main event. And Roy Jones Jr. boxed a fan. People had to send in their video requests of why they should box Roy Jones Jr. Anyway, this poor soul, he got picked and he got bingoed and knocked out cold in round 2. What do you expect? It's Roy Jones versus a fan. Anyway, on there, they had Rey Mysterio taking on Kurt Angle in a boxing match. And they also had me grappling Chael Sonnen. Incidentally, Rampage Jackson was the commentator. Didn't say very nice things about me. I think he might have called me the C word on commentary. But still, I digress. And that wrestling match, sorry, not wrestling match, jiu-jitsu match that I had with Chael went to a draw. So, boring. Very boring, but there you go. Is Floyd really a baddie? Or is Paddy really a baddie? I don't know. I've never met the guy. I guess we'll find out. Nick Diaz return fight against Robbie Lawler. Talk about their future. Well, I mean, he had a great career and he's got a cult following and I'm excited to see him back, but he's been away from the sport a long time. I think Robbie Lawler's the perfect matchup. Everybody loves the Diaz brothers. It's going to be great to see him back. I think it's a good matchup because Robbie Lawler is a guy, I mean, let's remember, Diaz knocked him out 17 years ago. Since then, Diaz has done very well. Robbie Lawler went on to be a champion for crying out loud. But Robbie is definitely at the end of his career. with respect. So it's a perfect matchup for Nick Diaz to come back. It's an old school guy, a guy that he's beaten. It wouldn't be fair right now to put him in there against, I don't know. It wouldn't be good to come back after 6 years or something like that and fight one of the top contenders. I think Robbie Lawler's a good way to get his, to whet his appetite, so to speak, or just to get his groove back. All right, R.I.P. Luis J. Gomez. No, come on. Listen, everyone's saying this about my podcast. I love doing my podcast. I love doing Believe You Me. I have a great time with Luis. We have a good laugh. But there's a lot of MMA content out there. And when I do the podcast, we get carried away. I get a little silly. Sometimes I want to just, give my own takes out there. I love doing the podcast. That's going to go nowhere. But just going to up my presence on YouTube. Why not? I heard there's some cash to make, guys. So come on. Ching, ching. Why not? Everyone asking about Rockhold. Story behind the bicep ink. Not much of a story. Was on the Ultimate Fighter season 9 coaching that. Afterwards, everyone was getting tattoos. And I was all right, I'll get a tattoo. What can I get? And I didn't know what to get. Well, I've got 3 kids and a wife. So I've put RCEL, Rebecca Calamelli Lucas, Bish Bash Bosh. Not very original, but it's close to my heart. Obviously, I do care for these people. So got them tattooed on me. There you go. I take them into battle. Every time I step foot in that octagon, I had them with me in spirit and in mind and on my bicep. Let's have a look. What else we got? How do you shave? How do I shave? I use an electric shaver, little razor on the neck. Bosh, easy. Not a good question. What else we got? We got a lot of people talking here, so I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Mike, can't wait till you act in The Journeyman. Do you have any details on the film or release date? Yes, so the Journeyman is a movie I'm very, very excited to make. It's about a boxer that gets CTE, brain damage. And he's kind of in denial about it, and he continues fighting, and he's got a big problem with drug use and alcohol abuse and things like that. It's a very, very touching story. And to be honest, when I read the script, it brought tears to my eyes, or to my eye, on multiple occasions. So the script is very, very powerful. So I'm so excited to make it because it's not a cheesy action movie. It's a very, very touching drama with some great elements of boxing and some action in there. So yeah, but we're still working on it. We were supposed to shoot in October, but we're still trying to seal the finance on it. We've got a lot of it, but still some to go. If you've got a few million you want to give us, buddy, go ahead. We'll take it gladly. Question, do you smoke weed? Not really, but I have been known to dabble. What else we got here? Michael Bisping. I was that guy that was tied up in the trunk of your car when your records were stolen. Oh, my God. Quick story for you here. I'm assuming you're not Mr. K, but I used to DJ, so they got all the DJ equipment over there. And I used to DJ at this club. It was a good club. It was a very, very good club for music and stuff like that, but it was also dodgy as hell. And a lot of gangsters and a lot of naughtiness and a lot of violent crime went on at this nightclub. Let me tell you, fuck me. The stuff I saw in that nightclub, it was crazy. I remember one night, I'm standing by the front desk, and then just people started stampeding, running out, trying to climb over one another. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then eventually I looked round, there's a guy stood there with a balaclava on and a samurai sword, just walking through with a samurai sword like that. And everyone was like, holy shit. And he walked in, he'd walked in through the fire exit and then hacked someone to bits on the dance floor. So anyway, that's the type of club it was. So story is, I did 2 DJ sets that night. It was an all-night. I did one from like 2 till 3, and then I had the graveyard shift from like 5 till 6 a.m. And in between that, I go and hang out. When I got there at 5 a.m. to go do my set, or a little bit before that, my records had gone. Well, the record box was still there, but most of the records had been taken. And they were my babies back then. I really valued my record collection. So I was like, what the fuck? And nobody down there thought really I could handle myself. I kept myself to myself. There was a bunch of gangsters and wide boys, they all thought they were the shit. But I kind of kept my mouth shut, to be honest. So they robbed my records. So I went outside on the car park, and the car park was packed, and you couldn't get out. I'm like, one of these cars has got my records in them. So I kept going up car to car. So, excuse me, you got my records. I need to check in your boot, trunk. So I do that, records are on there. Next car, you can't look in your boot, yada, yada, yada. This went on for a while. I get to this one car, there's a guy sitting there, windows down, he's smoking a joint. I said, yeah, mate, I need to look in your boot. He said, you can't do that. I said, well, I don't give a fuck. I said, I need to look in your boot. Simple as that, your trunk. I need to look in your boot. He says, you can't do that. I said, listen, mate, now I really want to look in your boot because my records have been nicked. And until I look in your boot, I'm not going away. So we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. And he looks at me, smoking his joint. He says, all right, I'll show you the boot. But when you see what's in there, you got to shut the fuck up. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever, dickhead, just open the boot. So we walk to the back of the car and he goes, the boot opens up. And there's a fucking guy in there, tied up. His ankles are tied up. His ankles and his wrists are tied together. He's got a gag. He's like, And he just goes, slams it down. He goes, I haven't got your fucking records. So, okay, so swiftly moving on. Never got my records back, by the way. Any chance Bobby Lee will be in the quarterfinal? People love Bobby Lee, as do I. Hey, Bisping, do you think Sandhagen should fight the loser of Aljo Yan or should he fight another contender? Love the BYN podcast. Do I think Sandhagen should fight the loser of Aljo and Yan? No, I don't. He just lost to TJ, unfortunately. So you don't get a title shot. He's going to beat someone else and come back. Do you think Mcgregor versus Tony Ferguson makes the most sense when Mcgregor returns? I do. I think if you're looking for a good comeback fight for Conor McGregor, the perfect fight is Tony Ferguson. Of course it is. You don't want to put him against one of these grapplers that are going to grapple him. You want to put him against someone that's going to stand. Tony Ferguson will stand. And Tony Ferguson is a little bit sloppy and his career has had a little downslide recently. The way Tony fights, and Tony's incredible, I'm a huge fan of the guy and I've got so much respect for him, but the way that he fights, he relies on his toughness and he walks forward and he takes a lot of damage, but then eventually his opponents get tired and he's like the bogeyman. When he calls himself El Cucuy, the Spanish Mexican bogeyman, whatever it is, and he does, they get tired, he doesn't go away because he's the bogeyman, then he dorses them, finishes them up, elbows them to death, whatever it is. But you can only fight like that for so long. And I think what we're seeing now is the beginning of the end. Maybe not the beginning of the end, that sounds a bit much. But what we're seeing is that fight style of taking so much damage over the course of his career, that's catching up with him. So I think Conor McGregor is the perfect fight for him. Perfect fight for Tony, because it's a big matchup near the end of his career. And the perfect comeback fight for Conor, because I reckon Conor would light him up. Thoughts on Conor's recent comments on Khabib? Didn't like it at all. Don't need to go into too much detail about that. I thought it was a terrible thing to say. Question, the first round of Chandler was... Oh, I'm not talking 10-8 rounds. Sorry, mate, that's boring. What's your opinion on fighter Eric Shin? Not familiar with Eric Shin at all. Bisping, what do you think of Sean O'Malley's potential? I think Sean O'Malley's fantastic. I love watching him fight. Like that performance that he just had at UFC 264, incredible. The striking was amazing. If you know about striking, you know what you saw. I mean, it was sublime. It really was. Granted, wasn't against the best competition. Chris Matinho impressed me. He showed a lot of heart. But O'Malley was great. O'Malley did what he needed to do, Only problem with O'Malley is that I'd like to see him step up in competition. Other than that, I think the guy's sensational. I think the guy's a star. Well, he is a star. He's going to be an even bigger star. And he could be the champion one day. And he's got so much charisma and people love him. And then in the octagon, he fights like a motherfucker. I love watching the guy fight. I think he's got so much skill. He's very calm and composed in there for a young man. It's beautiful to watch. It really is. I just want to see him, as a fan, fight someone that's ranked now. You know what I mean? It's time for him to step up. But that's not his fault. He's fighting the people that they put in front of him. Bisp going a bit of grey on the sides. Mate, I'm 42 years old. I told you, a little bit of greyness never killed anyone. But I tell you what's killing me. It's 9:42. It's 9:42. That's 45 minutes. Well, 42 minutes. I'll give you 3 more minutes then. What do we want to do? What should we end on? Deontay Wilder sparks Tyson Fury. You're out of your mind. It might happen, but that's his only shot. I think Tyson Fury is going to absolutely, just like he did last time. Hold on, let me get rid of this on my computer. I'm looking forward to the fight. Love boxing. Tyson Fury is amazing. Jesus loves you, Bisping, and died for you. Well, if that's the case, I thank him. But I just don't believe. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to any religious people. I was raised as a Roman Catholic. I went to church. Every week when I was a kid, well, most of the weeks, my older brother, sometimes my mum and dad wouldn't go, they'd send us to church. But Stephen, my eldest brother, he'd say, fuck that, we don't need to go. We just go up the castle. We had a castle by our house. We go up the castle, we'd play up there. Then we'd go home at the end of the day, and my mum would be like, what was the service about? And we'd make up some bullshit. But anyway, no, I'm not a believer. I respect everyone's beliefs. I do. But I just don't feel it. I don't feel the faith. You know what I mean? I believe in science. All you people out there that haven't had the vaccine, go get the fucking vaccine. I believe in science, I do, and I believe in the Big Bang, and I don't believe there's someone up there. If there is, come on, man, give your buddy a chance. If there is, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that there is. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am though, but maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, you should pity me. You shouldn't judge me. You shouldn't scold me on the internet. You should say, oh, this poor guy, he doesn't believe, he doesn't have the faith. I don't mock you. Maybe I do for a bit of fun, but it's only a bit of fun. But yeah, there you go. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me. Oh, this guy again. My God. They only count 3 losses for Bisping. All the other guys were on steroids. They were on steroids. And the other losses, I only had one eye. So they don't count either. Well, Lewis versus Gane. Big pay-per-view next week. Looking forward to that one. Lewis Gane. So Derek Lewis, Ciryl Gane. Good fight. How good would that be? Listen, I like Ciryl Gane. He's doing great things. He's doing amazing things. Ripping through the heavyweight division, but come on, who doesn't love the Black Beast? From the way he fights, to the knockouts, to the interviews, just the way he carries himself. The guy's a great dude as well. Very, very funny. How awesome would it be to see Derek Lewis, after all these years, become the interim champion? Granted, only the interim, but still, it'd be fucking awesome. And for Ciryl Gane, but he's new to the promotion. I love the story. I love the romance of it. Derek Lewis deserves it. He's been there for a while. He's provided so much entertainment over the years. So I'm going to go with Derek Lewis because I'm an old romantic like that. But we're almost done here, guys. We've done 45 minutes. I feel like that's a lot. Derek Lewis versus Jesus Christ. I don't know about that one either. Any words of advice for your brother in his kickboxing fight this Sunday? Well, it's a little bit late for that because it's this Sunday, but I'd say go out and run. Run. Cardio is the most important thing. Obviously, you're going to know how to fight, but once you get tired, doesn't matter. Those skills go out the window because you're tired and you can't hold your hands up and you can't throw a punch, and it doesn't matter how good your technique is. As soon as you get tired, the technique goes out the window and you look like shit, you get really sloppy, and then you'll probably get knocked out. Give us the story behind Masvidal and Masvidal. There's no story with Masvidal, really, I can't be asked getting into that. I'm going in a minute. That's a long story. Question. If you had the opportunity to do color commentary early in your career, would you have taken the opportunity or been 100% focused on fighting? It's a tricky one. That's a good question, actually. Because Dominic Cruz, obviously, is still fighting. And he says it's a bit of a distraction. You don't understand when you commentate, it's a lot of work. I'm commentating this Saturday, and I've just spent pretty much most of this week when I'm not dicking around on YouTube or doing podcasts or working for BT Sport or being a father and to my 3 children and a husband. When I've not been doing that, I've been studying for the fights. It's a lot of work. Trust me, it's a lot of work. And if I'm not fully researched for the fights, I get a little bit of anxiety. I do, because I start panicking. Because I want to give them the respect that they're due. The first fight on the prelims, I try and give as much attention to as the main event. Sometimes probably more, because the main events I'm already familiar with, but I want to be familiar with every fighter on the card. I want to speak about their career with conviction. I want to know them. I want to watch the fights. I look at their social media. So it's a whole thing. It's a very, very long, drawn out, but necessary process. One more question. Let's make it a good one. Bisping is a guy that has used steroids your whole life. What do you think of Israel? Guy has never used steroids in my life, mate. We know this. Bisping, who do you think would have done it? How do you think you would have done a light heavyweight? I did great. I was 15-0 as a light heavyweight. Then I went down to middleweight, which I shouldn't have done. I should not have done that. I should have stayed at light heavyweight. I succumbed to the peer pressure. And yeah, I went down to middleweight. But I'm going to do a video tomorrow actually on my YouTube page all about the pitfalls of cutting weight, the pros and cons, why people do it, and what I think should happen in the future. So keep an eye out for that one. But listen, guys, this was fun. We got 1,600 people on here. Thank you very, very much. We'll do this again. If you haven't subscribed already, do me a favor, click that subscribe button below. I'm going to try and get out lots of content for you guys. But I'm going to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to be up early in the morning. I'm working for BT Sport. We're breaking down UFC 265. But there's a time difference. They're in England. I'm in California. I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not very good in the morning. So on that note, guys, thank you. Much love. All the best.